Yo, Ross, what's good, man? What's good with you, brother?
Chilling, man. I'm chilling. What's up with you?
Shit, man. We got to come in here and we got to shut this shit down because it's quite frankly embarrassing. And I'm glad that you were able to come in and do the impromptu live. You know what I'm saying? So I really appreciate that. But we really got to get into this because it's clear that the streets need our voice so that once again everybody's steered correctly into what is what versus what isn't. So I want your initial takes on Terrence Crawford. Who the fuck decided to tell him that he was smart enough to do a lengthy conversation and on top of that, do it on Blue Blood Sports TV's platform? And then on top of that, reveal their true intentions. And on top of that, they had 2.5 weeks to Olivia Pope the situation. And then they made Olivia Pope wanted to basically throw the fuck up. So I really want your take on this, man. What do you have to say about this, man?
It just goes to show you that all boxers, hey, I would like, and I hate the fact that I gotta say this, but all black boxers should not be independent and should not be on their own. So some boxers need severe supervision and and what they call monitorization. Like left to his own devices, Terrence Crawford is a fucking lunatic, dog. Left to their own devices, Terrence Crawford is a lunatic that he needs to be put down, man. Like if he doesn't fight Errol Spence, he it's how you know. It's how you know the boxing. It's all narrative. It's not about who deserves what. It's about them keeping weak minded boxers like Terrence Crawford in the spotlight while trying to take away shit from the strong black independent boxers like Errol Spence. Because if Errol Spence was saying he was going to fight anybody but Crawford right now, and if it was on him to make the fight, they would strip Errol Spence from all those belts if he was ducking Terrence Crawford.
Facts.
If Terrence Crawford signed that contract and Errol Spence was like, nah, I ain't ready, they'll strip him, man. But they let
Exactly.
Terrence Crawford fight all the Terrence Crawford. What's the name said it best, man? The real Marlo TV said it best. He said, "This nigga, I can't believe he asking for another tune up. His whole career been tune ups."
Oh shit.
The real Marlo TV said Bud Crawford whole career been tune ups, man.
Ooh.
When he said that
Shit.
shit, bro, I just started laughing. That's all I need to hear. I didn't even watch the rest of the video because that summed up the whole video. This nigga whole career been tune ups. Why he need another tune up? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? Like, Bud Crawford might as well be a box Chevy, man. He might as well be a box Chevy on all the tune ups he fucking need.
Well, that's why Earl Smith said his career is nothing but smoke and mirrors, dog.
Big mirrors, man.
And this is the funny thing about it. This is where the contradiction comes into play. Because he says in the interview, and you know what? I remember your idea about us playing the clips, but I'm not giving Bud that level of shine, bro, because he don't even fucking deserve it. Because I want this shit to fucking flop, to be honest with you. And I'm
Nah,
glad.
no, it's going flop. I wanted you to play it because I wanted to piece by piece tear everything that he said down. I purposely did not listen to it because I wanted to hear it live and destroy it live, man. Like
Man, I'm gonna
people,
tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you right now because I got it photographic in my memory of the 3 minutes and 33 seconds out of the 17 minutes and 3 seconds because that's all I could stomach. 3 minutes and 33 seconds, and I turned the shit off. In the first 3 minutes and 33 seconds, the first thing that came out of his rabbit ass mouth was I called Earl. And when I called Earl Spence, I told Earl, yo, I got this company. It's a hedge fund company. you know um they willing to give me $25 million advance and give
hmm
you $25 million advance. So what's up? So Earl stayed quiet the whole time, was listening all the way up until the point to where Bud started saying, "So what's up? What's up? What's up?" So Earl said, "What about the back end money?" I want your take on that. When Earl said, "What about the back end money?" Can you break that down to these motherfuckers? What Earl meant when he said that shit?
Basically, when you are a real businessman, you are looking for what they call mailbox money. The reason why a lot of rappers have to rap about shit they don't really want to rap about and be fucking buffoons and have to do 300 shows a fucking year, a show every day, is because they're not getting any back end money. They're not getting
Mm-hmm.
any of the real money. They took upfront advances because basically what he's saying, let's take a $25 million because Bud been paid in advances his whole career. He said, let's take a 25 million advance, and he's satisfied with that because Bud hasn't really made anything. But thing is, because he only can make so much, he also want to cap Errol Spence too. That's not how this go, buddy. That
Mm-hmm.
ain't how this go. You got the WBO belt. I got the rest of the major heavy hitters.
Mm-hmm.
I got three of the real belts. You got one measly ass belt that's not respected. We not the same.
Yep.
I fought real welterweights. You fought either welterweights or tunas. We are not the same. So why you saying both of us get 25 million? So that's where you lost. That's where you lost Errol Spence for real. When you said, yeah, you gonna get 25, we'll get 25. So that's why Errol Spence was like, okay, what about the back end? Because I know I'm gonna get majority of the back end. That's what Buzz saying. Back end. Why are you talking about that? Why are you bringing that up? You want to know why that is? Because number one, it's either one or two things. Either he didn't even think about the back end because he ain't used to getting it, or he wanna dismiss the back end because he know that he definitely don't deserve more of the back end than Earl Spence. So this whole thing boils down to him when him by all means wanted to go into the fight feeling like him and Errol Spence are equal. That's his problem. He don't want to prove that he better than Errol Spence. He has that weak African American mind. African
Mm-hmm.
Americans, all they want to do is prove they're equal to white people.
Yep.
They don't want to
Bullshit.
stand. They don't want to stand in their superiority that you a Hebrew and you superior to white people.
Man, you gotta run that back, dog. If motherfuckers are listening, they gotta eat that shit up.
They know that because every black. That's the reason why a black motherfucker would damn near kill another black person if they disrespect them, but would beg and use logic and cry and pull out their phones and plead with white people to treat them like equals.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, the average so-called African American is submissive to white people, and Bud is
Facts.
submissive to Errol Spence. He just want Errol Spence to accept him as an equal. He hadn't even thought about being better than Errol Spence. He just want to come in on an equal playing field, but then do none of the fucking work.
So basically, the reason why Earl was quiet is because he lost Earl in the sauce when he said, "You get 25 and I get 25." If you wanted Earl ears to itch, you should have said, "You get 50, Earl, and I get 25." Then that ear would have started itching a little bit because then now you would have basically said you're subservient. But you
Right,
coming in saying we both 25 million. That
right.
motherfucker's not gonna listen to you. We're not equals.
That ain't make no sense. Errol Spence already had a 25 million payday, man.
Yep.
How you gonna offer me something I already got without you? Like, bro, understand business. You supposed to be offering somebody. You supposed to be making them an offer they can't refuse.
Exactly.
That's business. Either they can't refuse because it's too good, or they can't refuse because they'll be making enemies with the wrong person. Either way it goes,
Exactly.
you supposed to offer them. You supposed to offer something they can't refuse. Errol Spence can easily refuse that. He can make that. He can make 25 million fighting fucking what's the name, Keith Thurman.
Exactly.
He can make 25 million fighting Wilder fight you for 25 million. Like,
With no
bro,
back end money.
no
So that
back end
means I'm
money.
capping myself on a fight that's supposed to be a super fight of the ages. Like a fight like that, I'm supposed to walk away at least minimum 100 million with back end money.
Right, 75 to 100 million is the goal with the back end. Because this
Yep.
fight, niggas been talking about this fight forever. This is gonna be a big fight. But Crawford, he the type of nigga he only because he don't really want to take this fight. He gonna present any type of angle that he knows Errol Spence not gonna want to do. That's what this is about. He know Errol
Exactly.
Spence should accept nothing but 60, at least at least 60% of the proceeds. So he's trying to put a situation to where Errol Spence got to choose between just getting the fight done or good business.
Mm-hmm.
Because he don't really want to fight, but he's not man enough to tell his fans, like, you know what? I don't think I can beat Errol Spence. He's too big for me. I'm gonna let him. I'm gonna vacate this belt. Let him get undisputed. Then I'm gonna sit back and I'll show y'all how I can do with people my size. Like, no, he
Yep.
ain't doing that. He's trying to act like he can really beat Errol Spence, but he's making a fight damn near impossible.
Exactly. And
Because if
here's the
you
thing. And here's
hold
the
on, let
thing,
me say
bro.
this one thing. If he
Okay.
really wanted to make this fight,
Mm-hmm.
all of everything that he's been through with Top Rank, he would have never lost. He would have never left Top Rank because no matter what Bob Arum said about Al Heyman, they have a working relationship.
They do.
He might not like the fact that Al Heyman is now the top dog, but when he wants to make that 100 million, he knows only one other motherfucker he could do that with. Two.
Yep.
That's Floyd Mayweather Jr. and that's Big Al, man, Al Heyman.
Yep. Yep.
And then Al Heyman, if you don't know nothing about Bob Arum, he know he can make a big. Cause he done did it several times. He know he could make a big fight with Bob Arum and Golden Boy. Cause he done did two big fights with both of them.
So
He ain't never did no business with Bud. Bud had a nerve to dial up Al Heyman.
because I'm getting to this because we already touched the first part, but the second part is this because I really want to know your responses on this. After that happened, he said Earl hung up the fucking phone on him, and he tried to call and dial Earl back, and Earl didn't respond. So, from a business perspective, as a businessman, what the fuck you think that means?
Man, that means your offer. I mean, your offer was denied, man. Your offer was denied. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why you didn't get the respect of because people don't like being played with. People who like Arrow is a nigga who really spends his time with his family. That's it. He got daughters. He got his family, his daddy, his mama. They're a close knit group. And
Mm-hmm.
for him to get pulled away from that, it got to be about business, man. You sitting up here talking about some bullshit. so, once he realized this was some goofy ass shit, he hung up on your dumb ass. Cause you ain't talking about nothing. You sit here telling me I should like be first of all, how many of you both get the same money? I got all the belts.
Exactly.
That don't make no sense. And then
Mm-hmm.
how many you go get the same money where I don't sold out pay per view and sold out stadiums. You ain't never sold out nothing.
Exactly.
So how we both getting 25 million? Like, why I'm doing you? You asking me to do you a favor, but you have not built up any collateral with me. You have not built up any goodwill for me to do this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
So
And you
this is what
coming?
Derek James was talking about. What Derek James said, Terrence Crawford needs to work on promoting himself so that this can be a super fight. Because right now, Earl Spence is the one doing all the heavyweight lifting. So this
Right,
basically confirms what Derek James was saying when he said that, right?
right. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like he's coming. He's really asking Errol Spence for a favor, but he's coming at him like it's a good deal. That, if it's a favor for you, it's not a good deal for me. Because we're competitors. I don't owe you anything, right?
Exactly.
Like back in the day, when they pushed Ali out of boxing because of his political beliefs and his religious beliefs, he had to fight preliminary fights and basically tune-ups until he could convince Joe Frazier to give him a title shot. He
Yep.
came to Joe Frazier and he asked him man to man, can I get a title shot? Not you owe me a title shot. Not blase. Like, no, man, you the champ right now, man. But you know you didn't beat me. Give me a title shot, man. I need this, man. Like, man, they took everything from me. He can't
Mm-hmm.
humbly ask for that favor. He ain't say, hey, man, I got a good deal for you, man. Listen,
Exactly.
I'm Muhammad Ali. We going there. We gonna split the profits, even though you're the heavyweight champion of the world. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get a title shot, even though I haven't done nothing to deserve it.
Yep.
Nah, he came humbly and he asked for the favor. This nigga asking for a favor, he tried to ask for a favor in a position of power.
Yeah, like he's strong arming.
You begging
Like,
a nigga
yo,
for a
and
favor.
you could tell he's not a boss because why would you say you're a boss and you will sit here and start the conversation and say, well, I don't answer to nobody. But Earl, you know what I'm saying, he answered the owl and he got a team. First and foremost, if you know anything about any reputable companies and any reputable business, it doesn't matter who you are. If you're reputable, you're gonna have a hellified team around you. This is what keeps you reputable, because you yourself don't know every fucking thing. So the
Right.
fact that Terrence Crawford himself is saying he don't answer to nobody, I would really be worried about Terrence Crawford, because first of all, he's a Negro that's missing a few fucking screws. He's a Negro that doesn't even sound like what he's saying makes fucking sense. Just look at his tweets on Twitter. And you're telling me he's the one that's answering to his own self? That's why it sounds stupid when you come to a guy who's been making way more money than you for however long. Fuck Earl Spence for a second. Let's talk about Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner is not even nowhere near the level of Earl Spence. And Adrian Broner's been making more money than you, Terrence Crawford, the guy that's supposedly your stablemate now. So if that's the case, how can you come to Earl Spence thinking you on the same fucking level? A layaway nigga making more money than you, though.
You know what's funny about this shit? This these niggas the stable makes on Blue Blood Sports TV better. How y'all YouTuber nigga sign y'all, man? This nigga don't know nothing about the business. He finna end both of y'all careers.
How does Blue Blood Sports TV get 2.5 weeks to prep? You could tell Terrence Crawford sounded just like him. This is the problem when you got two dumb as fuck motherfuckers that are missing few fucking screws. Try to prepare. You had 2.5 weeks to prepare this sucker duck response. The best thing to do in this situation, you should have just let this shit blow over and wait until your actual cockamamie bullshit and fuck shit fight manifest. But you're gonna try to explain the unexplainable? Some things don't even need to be explained, man.
These niggas have forever to get their shit straight. There was 2 weeks under the gun. The bicycle community was calling these niggas dog shit. They had 2 weeks to get their shit together, and they came out sounding worse. God damn. How y'all ass come outside the worst? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? You call you yourself down, Al Heyman? That shit don't listen, man. Al Heyman probably was like, how you get this number?
Okay, so let's entertain that he actually did speak to Al Heyman. Because some of the things that he said sound like what Al Heyman would have told him. The first one was,
I believe he really did. Really did. Al probably was like, okay.
The first one was Al Heyman. He said to Al Heyman, yo, I got a company, a hedge fund company. They say they know you. Of course they fucking know Al Heyman. Everyone knows Al Heyman.
Everybody
you got Drake. You got fucking Drake rapping about. You got Drake and fucking Unknown rapping about Al Heyman checks. So we know who the fuck Al Heyman is. And the bottom line is, he said, this hedge fund company, they know you. Of course, we know who the fuck the hedge fund company is, Blue Blood Sports TV. How the fuck does he not know Al Heyman? He got rejected by Al Heyman and them, so he's salty as fuck. But anyways, that's not the point. Right. The point is, he says to Al, this hedge fund company is willing to give me $25 million advance and Spence $25 million advance. And Al Heyman said, I'm not outsourcing my company. Right, this is going to be a PBC event. So what is your take on that?
That don't make no sense. Think about it. The nigga Bud Crawford, man, they need to go in there and get the rest of the fragments out of his brain. This nigga got bullet strap. This nigga got bullet shrapnel in his brain, and he just said anything. Think about this. You talking to a nigga that got so many $25 million fights and up under his belt, so many $50 million fights and up, so many $75 million fights, so many $100 million fights, got $200 million fights, $300 million fights, a $400 million fight with Conor McGregor. This nigga, you telling him Errol Spence and Floyd, all them niggas gonna spend $25 million? Why? Do you know who you talking to? You and him ain't on the same level. Why are you doing that? This is the reason why Bob Arum used to be telling him to sit there right there and be quiet. Yeah, he can't be trusted.
Now we know why Bob Arum don't let him do lengthy interviews, right?
The longest interview that I had seen of Bud before
Woo.
this shit, before I heard about this shit, was a minute and 37 seconds. At a minute and 37 seconds, they snatched the mic from that nigga. Like, get your dumb ass out of here.
Oh shit. Whoo, man, we gotta clown this shit, dog. And then he goes to Al and say, well, why not the 25 million, Al? And then Al tells him, so you want to put a cap on yourself? You want to limit yourself? Can you please explain to a lot of simple-minded niggas, aka simpletons that fell for Bud's tea, what the fuck does Al mean when he say you want to put a cap on yourself? You want to limit yourself? What the fuck does that mean?
What Bud equivalently did, Bud equivalently went to Master P, or let's make it current. Went to Kanye West, right? Who owns 100% of Yeezy, and basically told Kanye West, let's sign a 360 deal. And you know, a 360 deal, I mean, they give you upfront money, then they own everything you ever do for the rest of your life. That's the equivalent of what this nigga did. This nigga with the Kanye West and said, man, hey man, I know you independent and I know you like a boss and you damn near dominate all areas of business on your side. But fuck all that. I got 25 million for you. 25 million you can split between you, Floyd, and Errol. And I get my 25 million by myself, and we can make this fight happen. Al Heyman is a more probably seasoned adult, and he probably knew, and he probably just more has more tact. So he probably didn't hang up on him. He probably just said, man, not interested. You know what I'm saying? Whereas Errol Spence made him talk to DT, down to him.
Yep.
Like, hey man, my cousin DT want to talk to you. And hung up on his ass. Like, what the fuck is he talking about, man? He should have hired a real lawyer, because a lawyer would have told him, like, you know, this arrangement you're seeking don't make sense.
Exactly.
This is about the most you could probably get based on the numbers, based on your prestige, and based on who you're dealing business with. And they would have came in there with a respectable number, or a real lawyer would have said, you know what, the idea you got, it's less than what you'll get if you just do what Al Heyman tell you to do. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go in there and we're gonna sign wherever the fuck Al Heyman give us, because this company you're talking about, there's not even any evidence that they're gonna come up with that money.
Mm-hmm.
Who are these people? What fights had it? Like, who are them to host a fight of this magnitude? Think about that. Who are they? Top rank struggle to put on fights by themselves. Top rank, and they've been in the business for decades.
Eons. Oscar De La Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions has been in the business for eons. Even he exposed them. He said, I've been in this business long enough, and you mentioned this company, Black Prime. He sarcastically dish-ragged them by saying, they talking about they're going to pay Terrence Crawford 8 figures. They got to make sure they get the pay-per-view numbers to pay him that money, right? So as long as they get the pay-per-view numbers, then he'll get paid. But what if they don't get the pay-per-view numbers? And then Oscar De La Hoya laughed. There's a reason why Oscar De La Hoya laughed, because anybody that knows Terrence Crawford and knows the history behind Terrence Crawford, they know he can't sell a chicken dinner, let alone a cookout. This is why this relationship ain't
He's
gonna
not gonna get
last.
paid. He's not gonna get paid, because think about it is, nobody don't know who dude is. And now if he somehow convinced Jermell Charlo to do that shit, he'll get paid.
Yep.
Because niggas be like, man, Jermell Charlo, okay, cool, man. We gotta see this shit. But now and then, if you fucked around or somehow outpointed Jermell Charlo, then you talk about he upped his now he upped his profile to the point where he could demand more money now. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Because I done beat an undisputed nigga at 154. What's happening? Fuck what you talking about 50-50. And I'll be like, Errol, make that fight. Wanna know why? He just beat a nigga undisputed at 154. Fucking make the fight, man. Go ahead and punish this nigga. But he can say some shit now. He can talk some shit now. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Especially if they fight for the belts now at 147. They fight at 154. And he undisputed at 154. Oh yeah, hey, make that fight, Earl. Go ahead and make that fight. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? But right now, as we speak, this shit is gonna be probably the biggest flops in boxing history. Mark my words, baby boy. Mark my words.
Exactly. Exactly. It is going to be the biggest flop. And the reason why it's going to be the biggest flop is because when you think about it from a boxing standpoint, this right here is probably the most hilarious thing that we've ever seen. For a guy to sit there and to have an interview of this magnitude, and then for him to sit there and talk the shit that he was talking, like he actually knew what the fuck he was saying. And then to sit there and try to quantify and justify his bullshit. And this right here shows you the underbelly and the undercut of what I've been saying all along on my platform. Fake as fuck Earl Spence fans, operating as Bud Man fans, wolves in sheep's clothing. Guys sitting here using Earl Spence's name like Earl Spence is this and that and this and that, but really they've been pushing Terrence Crawford all behind the scenes. And look what ended up manifesting. Look what ended up becoming evident. Look what ended up becoming the reality. Why are you so capping for Terrence Crawford right now for a fight that boxing fans really didn't ask for? No one asked for Terrence Crawford versus David. I don't give two flying cows fucks what his last name is. No one asked for that bullshit. So when it's all said and done, Terrence Crawford should have just shut the fuck up. Don't do the damn interview. Let this shit blow over. That would have been the smart play. And then get into his fight. This is why I'm telling y'all, sign the fucking petition, man. So we can boycott this fucking fight. Because this fight right here doesn't make sense. We didn't ask for it. All we asked for was Spence versus Crawford. So I gotta give Ross the salute, and I gotta give him the credit. I gotta give Ox the credit. I gotta give myself the credit. But Ross, man, this motherfucker been saying this shit even more so than us from day one. Bud didn't want that smoke.
Yeah, man. So I gotta admit to you, nobody really gonna watch this fight. No how. You doing the link, the petition.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna fuck around and make sure, like, literally nobody come. Cause there's not gonna be that many niggas there to begin with. It ain't
That's
nobody.
the whole fucking point, though.
We all know this nigga can't. Nobody watch him fight, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody give a fuck about Bud, man. Think about it. Bud has not had a major pay-per-view hit yet, and he ain't sold out no arena yet. Him, Tyson Fury, Lomachenko, I don't know what they do in that Top Rank, but unless they fighting PBC fighters, they don't sell out a motherfucking thing, man.
Mm-hmm.
They don't sell out nothing, man. Nobody want to see niggas at Top Rank fight. Anybody affiliated with Top Rank, nobody want to see them, man. You know what I'm saying? And shit ain't gonna change. Like this dude, what's the name? What's the dude name? Evian Water? Evian? Whatever the fuck his name is, he's gonna fight. Nobody know him, man.
Exactly.
This shit, it's sad, bro.
It
It's
is.
sad. You know what would be crazy? The crazy part is if Bud lose that fight, bro. If Bud Crawford lose that fight to a nigga nobody don't know, oh my god! Good thing for him.
Or he get dropped even worse. Even if he don't lose, if he get dropped worse than he did with the Mean Machine fight, oh, he ain't gonna unlive that shit though.
Good thing for Bud, he's from Omaha, and Omaha ain't really known for shit, really. You know what I'm saying? So he can really go back there and not really look like no disappointment because this is a state. Nebraska is a state full of disappointments. You know what I'm saying?
I went to a comedy show back on Saturday, October 29th, and in the comedy show, the comedian said he went to Omaha, Nebraska, and he said within 5 minutes he got back on the plane and he left that motherfucker because he said they ain't shit to do there. He said I couldn't even piss in a fucking pothole. I got right back on the plane. My damn disabled ass. It took me every bit of an hour, but I got right back on the plane. I left that motherfucker and I was like, what kind of shit did they bring me to?
Right.
Man,
What's up,
what's up
Ock,
with y'all,
man?
brother? How y'all doing, man?
What's good?
Salute to Ross, man. Salute to HeKnows. Salute to the chat, man. I had to jump on here with you guys real quick. I'm heading out to football practice, man. I got a few things to say, man. We got some brothers up here, man, that's veterans. Salute to the veterans. Salute to the college educated. Salute to the streets.
Mhm.
Because all three of those aspects make the triad. Some of us are from all three. The streets, the military, and the classroom, the boardroom. And no matter what side of the table you sit on, you can only slice it one way. Bud full of shit. You don't have to be a speech pathologist or a body language pathologist to understand that this dude, everything, all the energy that he's giving off, if you have any kind of boardroom instinct, street instinct, military instinct, you could see right through him. And if you
Yep.
can't, I'm going to give you guys a special message to everybody listening. If you can't see through Bud's bullshit, you the same kind of dude in jail or penitentiary that'll take the honey bun and eat it off the bed.
Right.
If you
Right.
sign up for Black Prime, you that same individual that's gonna eat that honey bun. You gonna eat that apple or that orange that's left on
Right.
your bed. One of them OGs gonna leave a snack on that bed. You're gonna be like, damn, man, there's some nice brothers in here. And guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna get fucked.
Right.
Okay? Okay? You don't know what kind of spam and malware that this app gonna put on your phone. Crawford couldn't even sit still in the interview. And I've been saying this. I went through a situation I explained to HeKnows and Ross or whatever. My son is having such an incredible season. One of
Mhm.
the head coaches hated on my son. You know what I'm
Salute,
saying?
boy.
And I knew in preseason that I was going to have issues with this guy because he couldn't keep eye contact with me and he could not stand still. He started to favor to his right side. And he
Right.
would almost, in a way, kind of circle me instead of standing still. He was very insecure about himself. And it's like Crawford, I'm just looking at his body language in this live that he did. He couldn't sit still. He didn't know if he wanted to sit back and slouch or sit straight up. His blinking pattern was off. He couldn't even pronounce BLK, And so he's one of those guys. Some of you guys have never been approached by someone in the street and they told you they could turn 500 into 1,000.
Right.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Some of y'all it went over your head because you never even been hit with that scheme in the street. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Hey, bro, I could flip this 500 into 1,000. Hey, I could
Mhm.
flip your tax return. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all is the kind of dude that'll get this man your tax return
Right.
thinking he gonna flip and he gonna run off on you.
Yep.
Why would Spence sever his ties with Al Heyman, one of the most legendary entrepreneurs, black entrepreneurs of our time? Okay. Why would you step away from the table from him? And he's made you a millionaire. All right. Just to go off with someone who has no credibility.
Yep.
What credibility does Bud Crawford have as a businessman, as a negotiator, as a fundraiser, as a financier? What
0%.
credibility does he have?
0%.
So so all of these individuals that are following him, all of these individuals that are following what he says and they agree with his posturing, you the same one that eat that honey bun left on your cot.
Yep.
Yeah.
You the same one that'll give your money to that swindler who told you that they gonna flip it. Okay? You that
Mhm.
same one and you gonna get fucked over. Okay. And I'm gonna tell you guys something else. A lot of you guys have never been in business negotiation, and it shows, and I'm gonna tell you why. When you're the A side, this is the pivotal piece to this whole thing. There's multiple boxing channels and bloggers and all these people that are vlogging about this topic. But I'm gonna say this: if you know anything about business, if you're the A side, you're not obligated to oblige the counter offer of the B side.
Exactly.
So I'm the A side. I present you with an opportunity, and you don't want to take the opportunity, and you want to then counter offer. At that exact juncture, I could then end our negotiations at that time.
Null and fucking void.
Okay, I don't have to oblige your counter offers, but People like, man, Earl didn't want it. How can you tell me he didn't want it when he's provided documented concessions for Bud? And what I mean by concessions is, hey, Bud, I want to fight. Let's fight. Okay, I can't fight in Dallas because I think it may be fair. That's concession number one. It may not be fair, so we need to fight on equal playground. We're talking a fight in America, actually in the middle of America, down there, which is Dallas. Okay, it's a place that's family friendly. This is a family friendly event. This is not just an adults only event. This is a family friendly event. They're both fathers and parents. Dallas is a good venue for that. We're not. You can still bet. You don't have to be in Vegas just to bet. So we can end that excuse right there. But location was the first concession.
Exactly.
I need rematch clauses. That was the second concession. The whole argument with the purse split, that was the third concession. And I'm not saying these concessions in order, but I'm just saying that's the third concession. And then he wanted more transparency. And for the people who would have eaten the honey bun off the bed, what they fail to realize is there's already an actual legal act in place called the Ali Act, and it's a policy. It's a policy where promoters and managers and attorneys, sports attorneys, they have to provide certain levels of transparency to the fighter. So whatever happened to Ali wouldn't happen. Whatever happened to Tyson would not happen again. So the way that Don King and people were doing business back in those times, they can't do fighters that way nowadays. So there's already a legal motion and order that's practiced every day with all these fights, whether you know the fighter or not. It's called the Ali Act, and in their contracts, there are certain levels of transparency in there. And so we're talking now, we're up to 4 different concessions, and then the 5th concession, these are all concessions based upon counter offers. He didn't accept the fight because it was in Dallas. That's 1. Purse split. That's 2. Okay. And the other ones that I listed, there's 4 of them: purse split, location, transparency, in regards to the fight, and number 4, the rematch clauses. 4 counter offers. 4 counter offers, and I could dissect each 4 of those, or whatever. But like I said, I don't have that much time.
I just want to say this real quick. Let's not forget Sean Porter. Sean Porter said that Terrence Crawford is difficult as fuck to deal with. People overlook that in their negotiations.
Yeah, simply put, beggars cannot be choosers. When I'm the A side, I don't have to. You can't tell me. You come up to me, hey man, I want the biggest payday of my career. I want a chance to fight for undisputed. You have more belts than me. You do need Errol Crawford. You do need Errol Spence. If you want to be undisputed, if you want to be the king of 147 and pound for pound, considered one of the greats, if you do want to knock on that door of Hall of Fame status, you do need those things. And I told people, Ross said some prophetic things. Heknows has said some prophetic things. Marlowe, Spill Dog, KC has said some prolific things. Many other people, Boxing Ego, all these guys have said some prolific things over time. And one thing is for certain and one thing is for sure. Crawford will continue to act in very bizarre ways. That's one of the things that I put out there. Crawford will continue to act in very bizarre ways. For some of you plum brains and Rudy Poos, like how Heknows would say, look up the definitive meaning of bizarre. We've never seen Crawford act like this in his entire career. And that's a tell. I don't care how cool, calm, and collected he is. People can act erratic in a very calm way. A person doesn't have to be belligerent for them to be bizarre. A person doesn't have to be belligerent for them to act erratic. You could also be cool as a cucumber. And those are, oftentimes quoted as being some of the most strategic manipulators. He is a manipulator. He's a manipulator. And it's like, I heard people talking all these different things. Oh, man, you're wrong for that. You're bringing his parents into it. Like, listen, we're not talking about nobody's mother directly. We're talking about characteristic traits. And number 1, only puppies and cats consider Terrence Crawford a dog. To wolves, he ain't no wolf. He a dog, but he ain't no wolf. There's a difference between a dog and a wolf. Again, I'm going to say it again. Only puppies and cats consider Terrence Crawford a dog, but what is a dog to a wolf? You understand
Nothing.
what I'm saying? These guys, they were tripping on He Knows. They were kind of tripping on Ross a little bit because I said it in one of the other lives. I kind of lit the fire to the say the dude is a mama's boy. He's a mama's boy. You know what I'm saying? He has a mama's boy mentality, and I'm gonna explain this. There's no disrespect to no one's personal family. I don't know his mother. You know what I'm saying? The fact that she stood in the gap and raised him, I salute her. But I'm talking about a mentality that plagues the black community, but just men in general. But the mentality of not having integrity. A mother is gonna tell you, it's okay, baby. I don't want you to get hurt. You just get your money. You get everything that you can. Don't worry about what they say. Only a mother and a certain kind of mother would instill those types of values inside your head. A father is going to tell you, man, go get that motherfucker. Matter of fact, let's pull up to his house and
Right.
whoop his ass in his backyard. Whatever they want to give you, fuck them. We gonna do this shit. Oh, they second guessing you, they doubting you, they looking down on you. We gonna prove the world wrong. Not know, oh, don't this man has disrespected his fans on a level that they can't even fathom yet. He just told you guys that he don't give a damn about boxing fans, not just his fans, but boxing fans in general. He just pissed on numerous people being able to feed their family, in a way that they never have before, create generational wealth by blowing this fight. All the people on the undercard and all the families that are subjected to this major change. Thankfully, Al Heyman and Errol Spence are formulating and calculating another, fight date, and it's going to be a great card or whatever the case is. They came in and they saved the day, but if you had left it up to Crawford, everybody would have been up hanging dry. So because I don't want to agree to your weak ass counter offer and you the B side, and I hold all the value, since I won't entertain more than 4 of your counter offers, you telling me I'm the one holding up the fight? These counter offers are excuses. These counter offers are um, their prelude is cowardice. And then the last and final thing I want to get on before I got to get off of here is we have to protect our legends and their likeness and their reputation. Who is Terrence Crawford to defame the character of the illustrious Al Heyman?
Right.
You don't even have Mexican American fighters that speak against Al Heyman. Name one Mexican that said Al Heyman didn't pay me. Look at Leo Santa Cruz. He bought a Lamborghini before he even fought Tank.
Well. You will have them who never worked with him speak on them because it's their job to speak on anything that Al Heyman does, but not never one of them who ever been on PBC has said anything negative about Al Heyman.
Exactly. And so
Exactly.
we cannot let a man who has a resume. He has a resume, but we can't name one legendary fight. We can't let this individual who's never done anything significant in boxing. I'm gonna say he hasn't done anything significant in boxing. I can remember some highlights I seen how he was dope fiending little Gamboa around, but I couldn't even give him props for Gamboa because of Gamboa management situation, personal issues, the fact that he was undersized, moving up in weight. That's why I didn't really give Maidana too much credit for whooping Broner.
Right. He was big as hell.
He was big as hell. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like we got to cut through, we got to trim the fat, whatever the case is, and Crawford is not a credible source to hinge your decision against Al Heyman. Like you have to be a complete moron to question Al Heyman's business etiquette. What about Crawford is so special that Al Heyman will want to screw him over? What about Errol Spence is so special that he would want to only see Errol Spence win? This man has in history put together some of the biggest boxing events in boxing history that have generated the most revenue in boxing history. That is his reputation. Why would he squander his reputation in fear of someone who's fought nothing but, hey, taxi drivers?
Exactly.
Why would he squander his, and this man is getting older and older by the day, why would he squander his business reputation on blowing an opportunity for there to be a continuance upon continuance of great fights that he's provided? We got to use our common sense. Some of us already got it, and what we're doing is we're trying to fight and defend, the likeness, of this great promoter and of these great fighters, but will continue to act in very bizarre ways, especially when this fight tanks. I expect for I don't even expect for the fight to go down if it even goes down, you know. But the whole narrative of him trying to discredit Al Heyman, we can't allow that. Even if it don't matter if you favor Errol Spence or not, we can't allow him to do that to one of our black legends. That's what always happens to our people.
Exactly.
They rise to a certain level of greatness, and sometimes it's our own people that try to tear them down.
Mm-hmm.
Let one
And
of the
you know who
Mexican
that's starting
American,
with? You know who that's starting with? Blue Blood Sports TV, Black Prime, and he's using
right?
Terrence Crawford and Adrian Broner, the layaway nigga that no longer wear name brand clothes.
Let me tell you something about Adrian Broner, man. If you pay attention to Adrian Broner is living in free comp hotel rooms. That man don't even have a home. That man don't even have a home. It's likely that he's eating off free comp food vouchers at the casino.
Right.
He's staying in free comp hotel rooms and eating off of free comp vouchers. And the raggedy chicks that he run around with, they be in the hotel with his sorry ass. You in the hotel with a man that got 7, 8 plus kids that don't pay child support on none of them. You laid up in a hotel room with this nigga. You for damn sure ain't no queen. You for damn sure ain't no queen. It's like as a man, bro, like you a grown ass man, you done touch millions and you living in a free comp hotel room, bro. That Al Heyman or somebody had, hey man, MGM, hey man, and Broner need a place to stay, man. Let him, hey man, give him a room, man. That's on me. Just put on my tab, man.
This is the thing. When you get Ox worked up, that motherfucker will go in on you.
This is what's going on, man. This is what's doing. This dude has been and I've taken up for AB. AB has been an abysmal failure. What credibility does Adrian Broner and Terrence Crawford have to where we're going to push away from the table from Al Heyman? Are you out of your mind? You out of your mind? Errol has a relationship with Jerry Jones to where, hey man, you can throw a party at my house anytime you want to, dog. A billionaire. How many young black entrepreneurs have the ear of a white billionaire
Exactly.
independently? Hey man, just
Exactly.
pay me my fee or whatever the case is, man. You can turn up all you want to. You can invite all your people. For him to bestow that type of trust in Earl by way of Al Heyman. We're not gonna let Crawford diminish that. We're not gonna let Crawford diminish that. You never wanted to fight, man. You ain't got us tricked, bro.
Right.
You ain't got a real one tricked.
And
In the real world,
motherfucker saying he got receipts. He ain't got no receipts. All he got is he's running his rabbit ass mouth. That's all he got.
man, listen, what he don't understand, man, that money from a hedge fund is a loan. It ain't even a payday. Like
Exactly.
it's a loan, idiot. Like why would someone a person been paying you millions and you gonna step away from the table? Crawford is delusional. Like we want to sit up here and believe that this man been fighting all this time. And bro, I had to kind of retract some of my statements about Bob Arum. But I said before in those lives, man, I know he pulled Bud behind the door and told him, man, just let us build you the way we're gonna build you. Those other guys in the PBC, you don't need them. Uh, quite frankly, you can't beat them niggas. Just stay over here. We're gonna build you up. We're gonna get you paid. But Crawford, that wasn't good enough for Crawford. He saw that Ferrari, he saw that Lamborghini, and he looked at his Monte Carlo SS and he was like, damn, I need to get like them. He looked at his chain and seen Earl's chain. Damn, I need to get like him. And
He
so
got mad.
forth
He
and
got
so on.
mad at Tank for clowning his ass and calling him a bum and saying, "Why you wearing the same Versace shirts at full straight events, motherfucker?"
Exactly, bro. And washing them in a washing machine. They ain't even taking them to the cleaners. Corny, bro. And we cannot let this dude with zero credibility tarnish the legacy of Al Heyman with these false allegations. Like I said, these guys that follow him behind that, all these guys that follow him behind that, man, there's nothing wrong with loving your mother. You know what I'm saying? I don't have anything towards, single mothers or anything like that. But I see a flaw in how they raise a lot of men when they raise them without integrity. And some of us was raised by a mother, but we had uncles, we had cousins, we had stepbrothers, we had somebody to kind of, navigate us through our manhood coming up. You know what I'm saying? And a real man would tell you, man, don't duck no fade or no type of way. This is what they're gonna think about you. This is what they're gonna say about you.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
a woman don't care about that. A woman is about self-preservation. You know what I'm saying? It's the man that'll stand there and fight the bear with a spear. A woman is gonna try to run and dip between the trees and save her young. And that's what Bud is trying to do. Bud is trying to, he's trying to, salvage whatever he can because he know he on the edge of that cliff, and he really don't believe that he can conquer that mountain.
And that's the difference of what you're seeing right now. What you're seeing is guys like us that had an active father in the home, father figure, father role model, father
Yeah, something.
personality, versus guys that have the mama's boys trait. All these motherfuckers defending Bud, they mama's boys, because mama's boys always tell you the self-preservation of you got to protect yourself. You got to look out for yourself. You got to go with what's first. You got to go with what's available. And you just never know when you're going to get it again. But guys like us that's going through the trenches won't duck that fade. Even if
Yeah,
your ass get folded, you can't come up in this house. I don't care if you come up in this motherfucker beat the fuck up. You can't come up in this house ducking that fade. You gotta accept the fade.
yeah. Especially when it makes sense and it's fair. When it's a fair fade, what you gonna duck for? All of a sudden, you talking about money. You can't talk about money and Hall of Fame in the same defense rant. Well, I'm gonna be in the Hall of Fame anyway, and they didn't have my money right, and they was gonna screw it. Like, bro, it ain't about none of that. Do you want to fight or not? Do you want to fight or not?
Exactly. How the fuck you
And,
gonna
and, and
off? How the fuck you gonna offer Al Heyman, somebody who done had multiple $100 million fights, $25 split up between Errol Spence and Floyd and who? That ain't even make no sense.
Let's be honest, Ross. Al Heyman's already, if you add all his fights together in with this new genre of PBC, we're talking about over billion
Right.
that he's accrued in money and fights. And that's not
right,
even counting back end money, pay-per-view money, and all of the other extra interest type money that he shares with the networks that we don't even see behind the scenes. And you got the nerve to come up to this motherfucker and tell him 25 million, man. Come on, man. He was probably taking a shit and was probably like you just said, no thank you.
yeah, and people try to argue, about the split, and I say you got to understand math. A lot of you people, man, once math started involving alphabets, a lot of y'all checked out then. A lot of people checked out of math, when they started involving alphabets. But I'm gonna break some algebra down to you. The type of money, he was arguing over. The reason why the negotiations were held up, I'm explaining how simple this is to you. You're the A side, he the B side. Imagine somebody arguing with you over money as minuscule as you just putting a few extra stickers on your pants. You putting a few extra labels of sponsors on your pants can make up for the money that you asking me for. But you don't want to fight unless from a moral aspect, unless I give you this money. Or I'm not gonna give you 25 million. I'm gonna give you 15 million. And you could do a couple walkthroughs and put a couple more sponsors on your shorts, and that'll make up for whatever money you asking for, because this is gonna be the biggest fight, of our time, which is true. Like, people would be clamoring to, put their label and sponsorship on the pants. A lot of folks don't even understand when you see these companies pay for various pay for patches on boxers trunks. You looking at a quarter million, half a million, 30, 40,000, and it depends on how big of a fight it is and how big of a fighter you are at that time. You could basically name your price, $1 million a patch. It's nothing to these companies. They'll peel it off. Fashion Nova, they'll peel it off. All these multi-billion-dollar companies that want a piece of the action, they're gonna tear it off for you. Okay, if you want to be the only patch, you see some of these fighters fighting with Hublot. Hublot, they don't really disclose their actual dollar amount because we talking about tax write-offs and stuff like that. But these companies are looking to purge money by way of making business expenses in regards to paying for advertising. Advertising is something that they can then in turn around and write off. But some of you guys that can't walk and chew gum don't understand that. So I wouldn't entertain a guy who's asking me for a couple extra million when he could just put the patches on his trunks, when he could just do a couple extra interviews and walkthroughs and, go sign some boxing gloves and pass them out, sign some merchandise. Get your merchandise up. You can use my name. You can use my name, Crawford versus Spence. You can use my picture, and I'm not even going to charge you, or I may charge you, but you're going to make all your money. You know what I'm saying? For your Crawford shirts, your Crawford hats. Get all that stuff in order. Take what I'm going to give you. Work on whatever stuff, whatever else. No, I need this, because you don't want to do that work. And you don't want to do that work because why am I going to do all this work when I know deep down in my heart I'm going to get my ass beat? So I need that. I need that 50-50 because I can't make that extra 15%, 20% on my own. So I need that 50. Like it's laughable. But a lot of people who don't understand the simple principles of business dynamics, they can't read between the context because they identify with that mama's boy.
Yep.
They identify with dogs instead of wolves.
Yep.
And the whole PBC, regardless of what you may think of them or not, it's majority wolves over there compared to what's over at Top Rank. Even if they got losses, they some wolves over there. And when they go against Top Rank, you see who typically lands on top.
Exactly.
And that should tell you something. Look at the resumes of PBC fighters versus, these other places. So, like I said, I didn't want to, continue on too long. I appreciate you guys for having me on. I just had to drop those things, man. And remember, if you see a honey bun on your
You there?
that shit, you go find the motherfucker who put it on your bed and you go beat his ass. You go whoop his ass and make your statement that you ain't gonna be played with like that. I'm trying to give you some game. Don't you eat that honey bun. I'm out of here.
All right, Ox, man. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate the game, dog. And more props to your son, man. And I just wish him nothing but the best. That boy is gonna be a beast.
Salute, man. I appreciate y'all, man.
Yeah, salute to you, man. Ross, I know you feeling like you got to go in, brother.
Peace to you, Ross. Peace to you.
Peace to you, Ox. And now we're hearing in the chat, motherfuckers saying, now Blue Blood Sports TV is going in on out. It's like he's trying to always hold serve with me and you, Ross. It's like we live rent free in this motherfucker's head. We talking about Al Heyman, so it's obvious you're gonna be now trying to double back. If you have a company that's reputable, if you have a reputable business, because I have a reputable real estate business, I don't feel the need to have to put my levels down to have to deal with people. Ross has a reputable book deal, and he has a reputable service that he provides through his books where he doesn't have to sit there and go back and forth with people that have issues with how he wrote his book or how he did this or how he did that. That's like wasting your time. That is insecurity. And what that shows to people is that you really are not what you say that you are, and what you got going on is really not what it is when you have to take time out of your schedule to have to constantly defend your position. Because if your shit is what it is, you don't need to defend your position. It'll speak for itself.
Right.
It's very clear that you came on this shit with scheming behavior, because anybody that knows business, that does business in a very ethical, moral, and valualistic way, we know scheming type of business when we see it. You were scheming. And businesses that scheme, they don't last. They never fucking last. They never last. No matter how long you see them around, you're going to wake up one day and see these motherfuckers are gone. You're going to be asking yourself, where the fuck did that business go? They don't last. And you have to understand, and I'm glad Ox said it, because I've been telling you guys this too. They gave these guys these PPP loans, advance money, and they're basically saying we're banking and hoping that you guys are going to generate the pay-per-views, which I find very funny, because in Terrence Crawford's interview, and this is where I wanted to throw the alley-oop to Ross, Terrence Crawford fixed his rabbit-ass mouth to say, well, fuck pay-per-view. Pay-per-view's an old model, Spence. We can go on this app. But isn't your next fight being done on pay-per-view?
What are you talking about? It's so fucking stupid, man. And as a black man, he want to refrain of talking like that about another black man, but man, bro, he give you no choice but how fucking stupid the shit. He's so full of contradictions. It's kind of like he can't think beyond a sentence. When he get ready to say the other sentence, he done already forgot about the shit he just said. and how the shit not going to chronologically add up and make any sense. You just said the pay-per-view model is over with, but you want me to fight for less money on another pay-per-view that nobody ever heard before.
That you asking motherfuckers $39.99 when your pay-per-view with Spence was gonna be like $109.99.
Nobody's fucking with that pay-per-view. Nobody's fucking with that. That's over with, man.
Y'all gotta stop sipping this tea, man. Y'all gotta see what motherfuckers are saying. That's why Ross always said this best. Many lives ago, Ross, I always hold dear to the profound shit that Ross said. Ross gonna be like, yeah. And Ross be like, man, he knows be remembering the shit I said. I'm gonna show this motherfucker I be remembering. Ross said you always gotta judge people by their body languages and you gotta judge them by their actions. Right. Terrence Crawford is telling you one thing, but his body language and actions is telling you another. Why are you clowning pay-per-view, but your body language and your actions are banking on $39.99 times how many subscriptions so that you can get your 8-figure payday? So what are we going by? What you're saying that sounds stupid, or what you're actually doing that everybody else has been doing because they know that shit works?
Exactly, bro. Here's the problem. The problem is he has a fan base that don't even support him, right? Because a million motherfuckers will show up when you say something bad about or something I like about Bud, but these same people don't show up when Bud finna get ready to fight. These same people steal Bud's fights. They don't respect him. They don't honor him. It's all cap. He's a capitalist nigga. They got a capping ass fan base.
Yep.
They don't really respect or honor him like that. They only hit fans so they can hate on PBC, man. So they can hate on Earl. So they can hate on Floyd. So they can hate on Al Heyman. They ain't his fans.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why he can't sell a cookout to his own family. Niggas not fucking with him like that. So you got people that understand. Niggas don't even want to pay for a pay-per-view that is solidified. But niggas do it because these people got long-standing history or giving a good show, right?
Exactly.
But nobody really wants to get any money for this shit. They would rather see it free.
Exactly.
But they pay for the shit because they know they're going to get a good show. Nobody knows nothing about Black Prime TV. And then you got a goofy-ass clown of Blue Blood Sports TV in charge of it. Who trusts him? I can't sit through 5 minutes of a live stream of Blue Blood Sports TV. I don't want nothing to do with anything he got to do but displaying a boxing event. What do he know about doing it? You know what I'm saying? What do he know about doing that? So who tell me this? Who gonna be the announcers, man? Blue Blood, and Barbershop TV? The Barbershop Conversation? Who gonna be the announcers? They don't got nobody to pay no real announcers. People gotta understand this shit to me, if you ask me, this shit is all cap just to keep Bud from fighting Errol Spence.
Exactly.
Somebody's funding these niggas to make sure Errol Spence will be undisputed. That's how much they want to keep out him from getting undisputed fighter.
And what you're saying is so profound and prolific because now they're putting Errol Spence in positions where he can lose belts left and right. Because now you got Jerron Ennis activating the mandatory for the IBF. You know, if Earl says, well, I don't want to fight you, he gets stripped. Then you got this other motherfucker here, the WBA, with the stenosis. If Earl says, well, I don't want to fight you, he gets stripped. You see what the fuck they was doing? They was doing this all along to fuck not only Undisputed, but to fuck Earl up. That's what the mission was. And that's why you as boxing fans, when you see something like this, you show your true boxing fanship by not supporting this bullshit. Bob Arum can't be behind it because Bob Arum has worked with Al Heyman before. This is what Bob Arum did. It's like Oscar De La Hoya with Canelo Alvarez. Bob Arum told Terrence Crawford, "Look, man, I'm gonna throw you to the wolves, and I want you to fight Earl Spence. I know your ass gonna get beat the fuck up, but I need to make money off of you because I wasn't making shit off of you. As a matter of fact, I've been losing money doing your fights. So now I'm gonna actually make money off of you." And you know what happened? When Terrence Crawford realized that this is what Bob Arum was gonna do to him, oh, all of a sudden, oh, he's a racist. Where did all this shit come from out of nowhere? Oh, all of a sudden, I don't want to work with Top Rank no more. It's because Bob Arum wanted his ass to fight. I've given you all of these tune-ups. I've given you all of these low-level competitions. I built you up on a what Bob orders belt, and now I really want you to fight. And then all of a sudden, he's like, I'm going to pull a Canelo Alvarez. That's what happened. If you're really using 2 and 2 together, you could see that's exactly what the fuck happened. Let's be honest.
Yep.
Exactly, this is pathetic. Man. This is pathetic, man. It's bullshit. And the thing is you have a lot of people that are actually believing into this. As a matter of fact, I don't even understand why y'all sitting here giving this shit a green light and y'all giving this a light of day like it's the greatest thing ever. Blue Blood Sports TV has basically finessed y'all. That speaks to not only Terrence Crawford being who he is, a motherfucker that needs to still get shrapnel out of his head. It speaks to y'all simple-minded niggas, y'all simpletons, man. Because you can't be finessed this bad and then have this guy laugh in your face. He's ruined boxing for you guys. And you guys are still supporting? He ruined Undisputed for you guys and y'all still support? Come on, man. Y'all can't be this dumb. Like, I'm trying to have hope for y'all boxing fans, but y'all can't be this dumb.
A lot of them are. A lot of them are, man. You got to ask yourself one thing, man. The LDBC has shown their hand. So why are people going on their platform expecting any logic? You're supposed to be going on their platform to debunk them and destroy them. Not You're going on there so they could give you a bullshit excuse for you to eat it up instead of going on there and telling them, like, man, this shit is fake. Y'all fake. Y'all ruined the undisputed fight.
Yep.
All because they feelings got hurt. If you think about it, if a white man would have done the same thing, they would have had no problem with it.
Yep.
But they was mad that another black man put them in their place and they can't take it.
Yep.
Fucking mama's boys, man. 50-year-old mama's boys. Exactly. Blue Blood Sports TV is every bit of 50 years old, man. He gotta be 50, man, because he be getting that spray on his shit. He wearing a hairpiece. You gotta think about it. Any nigga wearing a hairpiece, they gonna do stupid shit because they not getting the proper sun and the proper oxygen to their scalp. So they gonna do goofy and shit. They gonna do goofy shit all the time. He ain't getting the proper oxygen and the proper sunlight to his scalp. So his melanin is suffering. That's why he's doing this dumb shit.
Facts. And if you support Terrence Crawford, you defend Terrence Crawford, you make videos, you're a YouTube content creator, and you're sitting here and you see this happen. You're supposed to be a boxing fan. If Spence did this shit, me and Ross would be all over Spence saying, man, we supported Spence, but motherfucker duck. When he did that shit with Yellow Beezy, me and Spence did not. Me and Tomross, man, we did not approve of that shit. When we saw that video, we did not approve of it. Just because you like somebody, you can't be blinded by that person so much to the point where you cannot hold them accountable.
Right.
You're supposed to be able to hold them accountable. When Gervonta King Davis was missing weight, we held his ass accountable. But notice Devin Haney misses weight. Nobody says shit. No, not miss weight, but Devin Haney comes on a weight scale weight drain. Nobody says shit. Shakur Stevenson missed weight. Nobody says shit. Terrence Crawford ducks the biggest fight in all of sports entertainment. No one says shit. What that is what we call mama's boy syndrome. And when you hear a lot of people on YouTube are saying mama's boy, they took that shit from me and Ross. We the ones that said the term. Everybody's running with it. I'm glad they're running with it like Goosefire because I see my comments. Man, anytime you deal with, us Budman fans, they want to call us mama's boy. I'm glad that shit ran like wildfire because guess what? There's a difference between guys that have had men in the home, father role model,
He knows.
father personality.
He said Bluebird Sports look like a moose.
You know what? You know what? I have to second that, because sometimes when you look at the motherfucker, man, you don't know if you're looking at a rat, you don't know if you're looking at a moose, you don't know if you're looking at a mice, you don't know what the fuck you're looking at. And then this animal want to come on and tell you 3-time boxing champion and da 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 da. Look, man, I've said this before. Some niggas, they look dusty as fuck. When you're a certain age, you can't be wearing shit that don't look your age. If you look every bit of 50 years old, you cannot be wearing shit that make you look like you're 20. Mm-hmm. That's not good. Dress appropriate to your age. Dress appropriately to your age. And I've seen older guys that dress down like they're young, but that's because they got the swag, they got the look to where they could dress like they're young. But you don't have that. So dress appropriately to your age. And then, aren't you still working overnight as a nurse? How do you even have money? This is what I don't even understand. How do you have the money, the capital to put up shit like this? This is where you could tell it's loans all over the damn place. But people say you hating when you tell the truth. The truth always comes out as hate. That's why Kanye West is so polarized the way he is. That's why Kyrie Irving is so polarized the way he is. That's why Tomross TV, that's why his channel got pulled, or is on temporary timeout. I ain't gonna say pulled, temporary timeout. The way it is because when you are too uncut and you're too real for motherfuckers and you too raw and you tell people the truth, people don't want to hear the truth. The truth is so basically overblown as a way of offending people nowadays that when people hear the shit, they want to run for the fucking hills. This is why now I have comments. Thank goodness Ross gave me the advice to do that shit. I got comments with motherfuckers telling me I'm gonna report your channel because of the last shit that I said about Terrence Crawford. I mean, that shit, you guys have to understand, man. I went over a long period of time. I have not put no alcohol in my system, but I listened to the Terrence Crawford interview and I had to pull out the whiskey. If you make me do that, that's because there's something going on there that was hurting my brain cells and was affecting me in a psychological way that even I was starting to question myself. And I don't fucking question myself, period. And you were starting to even make me start doing that. That's not a good thing. That tells me you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. That tells me you don't know what the fuck you're doing. And this is why I know these janky promoters are not going to last. If you guys think they're going to last, they ain't going to fucking last. And then that 17 minutes and 3 seconds or whatever the fuck that interview was, I could only stomach 3 minutes and 33 seconds. Right. If I could stomach any more than that, I probably would have drank the whole bottle of whiskey. I really would have. Thank goodness I called Ross. Thank goodness we had the powwow. That saved me, boy. Because I was really hurting. My head was hurting. It took, man, I'm telling y'all right now, I had a migraine because I couldn't realize the level of stupidity coming out of this dude's mouth. I mean, he was so fucking stupid till stupid was fucking stupid and then beyond stupid. Let me say it again. He was so fucking stupid till stupid was stupid and beyond stupid. And I don't even think he realized how stupid he was. Everything coming out of that dude's mouth was stupid. He was a walking contradiction. If contradiction could be a person, it would be Terrence Bud Crawford in that fucking interview. And this is the thing that trips me out with this Black Prime. They think everything they do is cash money shit. You think by you putting Terrence Crawford out there to talk, it's going to help the situation? First and foremost, you got a motherfucker that has documented, known that he is not liable to do lengthy interviews. This is why Bob Arum always takes the mic away from him when he goes past. Even in the Spence and Crawford confrontation, Bob Arum interrupted because he already saw Terrence Crawford was acting like a mangina when he came to student stinky leg. He had to come into that shit. Go look at the y'all take my word for it. Ross, you know what I'm talking about. Didn't Bob Arum have to step into that confrontation? Because he could see how stupid Terrence Crawford and Bo Mack was starting to sound. And this is the guy that you guys put your hope and faith beyond. And the thing that trips me out about boxing fans, they don't want to hold nobody accountable that they like. It's like you guys are allergic to this type of shit. You know Terrence Crawford ducked. We should universally, as boxing fans, if there was any time on the planet as boxing fans we should be galvanizing together, it should be now. All these motherfuckers that was Budman fans should have been like, man, I ain't gonna lie, man. I've had some of them say it to me, but I was hoping it was gonna be more. Man, I ain't gonna lie, man. Bud fucking duck. He looking weak.
Mm-hmm.
Cause if you a man and you a man about your shit, this is what you gonna say. He ducked. Damn, dog. That motherfucker didn't want to fight Earl. But see, for them to have to say that, that means they would have to admit that Heknows was right and Tomross is right. And I don't think motherfuckers don't want to. I think me and Ross are so controversial. Y'all motherfuckers don't even want to let that come out your mouth. Man, damn. So we gotta hold up. And I'm sure motherfuckers was thinking about this shit. Y'all probably went and drank on that shit. Man, we gotta go say Heknows and Tom. Man, we can't stand them motherfuckers. We gotta go say Heknows and Tomross was right. Man, fuck that shit. We just gonna eat on this shit. We gonna eat on it.
Exactly. Or when my friend want to admit you right, what they'll do is talk for 30 minutes about some irrelevant shit, then come back and tell you exactly what you said and make seconds day again.
You ain't lying about
like,
that.
What the fuck? Nigga, I just told you that. This nigga trash. Told you that.
Listen, man. Ross said this. I'll never forget it. The very first time he said it, he said, "Man, he knows. I'm gonna tell you this shit right now. This shit is not gonna hit until it hit in the moment, but now it's hitting hard. Bud don't want no smoke, dog. He don't want no smoke with Spence, man. I'm telling you this shit right now. The way that I'm dissecting this motherfucker with him staying on the top rank side, that motherfucker don't want to fight Spence. Y'all don't be surprised if the Spence and Crawford fight don't happen because the motherfucker don't want to fight Spence. What has happened?
Mm-hmm.
The Bible says the prophet is not honored in his own home, but those whom they rejected became the chief cornerstone. Ross ain't honored in his own home. That motherfucker is a chief cornerstone.
Right.
Whew.
Right. That's the problem. That's the problem right there, man. The problem is a lot of us don't realize it's okay. Because a lot of niggas always want to go to the defense of who they think the underdog is. Or the defense of who they think had less. Whether a nigga had everything, where a nigga had less, was right, was wrong, is wrong. When a nigga had a nigga be like, well, he ain't had no father, so I'm on his side. Yeah, I love Iverson. Iverson ain't had no father, and that nigga had braids. But Kobe had a dad, so fuck Kobe. Stupid shit like that. You mad at a nigga because he had a dad and you didn't. That's not his fault, man. You know what I'm saying? Like you should be respecting the fact that the nigga had both parents in his house. That's how we supposed to grow up. You supposed to have both parents. The fact that you didn't mean both parents failed you. The fact that you grew up without a mother and a father in the house means both your parents failed you.
Exactly.
That's not how it's supposed to be. So you don't get to side with a nigga just because he grew up fucked up like you grew up fucked up. That don't make no sense, man. At the end of the day, what's right, was wrong, and Bud wrong, man. He cried for this fight for years. Now that the fight is impending, now this bitch ass nigga he's talking about everything but the fight.
And Ross don't use that word bitch ass nigga often. So if he using that word, he really mean that shit.
As a man, I don't know him, but as him not keeping his word, that he's acting like that. You know what I'm saying? Yep. As a man, I don't know him, but as a boxer who called out Errol Spence, if he never called out Errol Spence, if he just moved to 147 and tried to get acclimated and it was just taking his time, I wouldn't say nothing. But he called out Errol Spence down there every month.
Yep.
You called out Errol Spence all this time. And now that the fight is impending, you don't want to do it. But what he don't even understand is this. If the boxing powers that be if they get to the point where the money that they can make off this fight is bigger than them trying to hold back Errol Spence, the fight will be made.
Exactly.
It will be made. He will have no choice but to take that fight, or the motherfucker will have to basically he'll fall out of favor with boxing is very controlled, man.
And I'm glad you said that, Ross, because it now, it happened. Bud and these dumb janky promoters have forced the hands of the powers that be. So, one thing that people got to understand is when somebody's very powerful, like an Al Heyman, you don't want to test that power. You think you won? You ain't fucking won shit. We seen this with Bob Arum when he tried to pull this shit with Manny Pacquiao, right? 5 years before the fight happened in 2010, Manny Pacquiao, well, you talking about blood testing or whatever. What happened 5 years later when Al Heyman flexed his muscle? Didn't the fight fucking happen?
Right.
See, y'all think y'all want to try to play games? The motherfuckers that are the A side are always gonna have the last laugh. And when they do get that last laugh, they're gonna do it in such a forceful way to where they're gonna force it down your neck, and you ain't gonna have no choice but to accept. And what you thought you was getting the last time, you're gonna get even worse than that. Do you not understand 5 years before when they were trying to make the fight happen, Pacquiao was even gonna get a better deal. They was talking about a 51-49, 55-45 split. But Pacquiao fucked up, didn't want to get tested, and the shit went to 60-40. You see how he fucked the shit up 5 years later? This is what happens when you try to play games. And then eventually they got to slap you down and fuck you over. So really behind the scenes, the one thing that me and Ross don't know is if Spence and Al Heyman is saying, because what Ross is saying, I've said that before, we've thrown that theory out, but maybe now that theory is something we probably need to say more often. That you don't know if these motherfuckers are so pissed off with the way Terrence Crawford reacted that they say, you know what, we're going to strong arm these motherfuckers.
Exactly.
Fuck them.
Salute Jimmy Robinson.
Salute Jimmy Robinson. We don't know if they're going to strong arm them, like Ross said, and just say, you know what, fuck it. Spence, we ain't going to let you go out like this, because you guys have to understand how much money has been wasted. First and foremost, Al Heyman lost money. Why did Al Heyman lose money? Because Al Heyman lost money because Al Heyman had to create a Vegas date. And when you create Vegas dates, that's slots that you're holding for a venue. When you're holding slots for a venue, you got to pay the venue for that. So that's money Terrence Crawford made him waste. And now, not even including the venues he's holding in the future, more money being wasted. And here's the other thing. He's wasting Spence's money because when a fighter is preparing for a fight, the fighter has to pay his lawyers per hour to make sure they look over the contract, to make sure the contract's on point, to make sure everything's good to go. That's money coming out of a motherfucker's pocket for something they think is going to grow into fruition. And then here's where the other money gets wasted. Promoters have to come together and they have to basically go to the Las Vegas commission, because that's who was doing the fight. They got to pay the commission to sanction the fight. Y'all motherfuckers that don't know business. Ross know what I'm talking about because he's a businessman.
Yeah.
You don't know
It's so much shit it's so much shit you gotta do. My best friend used to be a club promoter, man. It's the same thing, but it's just it's like being a club promoter, but you're doing it at a higher level. You got to get the venue. First, you got to sell the people who got the venue on how many people you're gonna have come in. I got to agree on the split profits, right? The bar, the drinks, the food, the whatever they call it, the concession, right? He knows you got to split that. You got to split the door fees. You know what I mean? Imagine doing all of that, and then let's say you're doing that because you finna book a rapper. Then the rapper say, you know what? I'm not coming, bro. You just got fucked.
And in boxing, they call what Ross was talking about promoter. They call that the gate. It's the gate. That every time you hear the boxing people talk about the gate, that's what they're talking about. The gate is where everything is set up. The gate is the conductor. That's why you see every time they bring out the numbers, they always say, look at what we made at the gate. Because the gate is really like indicator of how successful the fight is going to be. And if the gate is successful, the fight is going to be successful. And these motherfuckers was building up the gate. They was building this up. They was building that up. And then Terrence Crawford comes in every moment with a concession bullshit to say, well, what about this? And what about that? You can't be a boss, Terrence Crawford, if you don't understand how you're affecting and impacting other bosses. You sound like an employee. Only an employee would not care about a boss's bottom line and would waste a boss's time. Doesn't that sound like an employee to you to do shit like that?
Inconsiderate. You gotta think about it, man. You are severely underprivileged. You are severely behind the 8 ball when you don't have a father in your life. And you're severely under 8 ball if you do got a father in your life, but he doesn't have the proper masculine mentality. So you can have a dad in your life and still not know these things. A proper father would teach you not to waste nobody's time, not to let nobody waste your time.
Yep.
Point blank period. It don't matter if you're a boss or not. Your boss should not be calling you in his office to play with you, man.
Exactly.
Like, check it out. Hey, I got work to do, so I'm about to get up out of here. Now he know. Damn, this nigga, what the fuck? I'm trying to rub elbows with him. He said he got to get back to work. He got to respect that, though.
Yep.
You guys ain't nobody supposed to be able to waste your time, man. Nobody waste my time in my life. I love my daughter more than I love myself. I don't let my daughter waste my time, man. I don't let nobody fucking waste my time, man, because you're not going to disrespect me.
Exactly.
Straight up, man. And that's the thing. He don't know that because ain't nobody taught him.
Exactly.
He playing. He on Aerosmith phone playing. Talk about we go both get 25 million. And what about the back end money? Man, you worry about the back end money, dude. Stop playing with me, man. Your ass dumb as hell. You goofy as hell. Why would you call me? Then he ain't get the hint. Then he call a nigga. Then he call a nigga who got more experience than even Errol Spence at this shit. Call him with the same shit.
Yeah.
And dude sat down and dude love his people, so he sat down and told him like, "Hey man, listen, I hear you, but why would you cap yourself out, man? Why would you put yourself in the predicament where you could only make this amount of money?"
Exactly.
He didn't catch the gems. He got some shit on his brain that's keeping him from progressing to the next level. This nigga's the missing link, man.
Oh shit!
He got some shit on his brain that's keeping him from. He got some shit on his brain that's keeping him from progressing and evolving to a full human being, man.
Oh shit!
Mind you, I don't believe in evolution, but I'm saying that as a joke.
Yep.
So check this out. This motherfucker here. And instead of saying, you know what, damn, I called Al Hammond, he gave me some gems, man. Let me second guess this shit I'm finna do, because what if this fight is $100 million fight? I'm gonna go get 25 million off the rip. Like, hell no. Nah. Instead of him thinking about it, he gonna team up with another dumb nigga, Blue Blood Sports TV, and they do them a mini press conference where both of them sounded dumb as a motherfucker. Come on, man.
All because of what? Hatred? Because Leonard Ellerby clowned you and acted like you didn't even exist? Gosh, man, it's funny how Mama's boys, when Mama's boys get offended, they do the dumbest shit. Their response is always more dumber than when they get embarrassed. They always reveal their ugly heads, man. Whew. Hey, bro, I can't stop laughing, man, because this right here revealed how stupid this motherfucker is. It also revealed the LDBC for what they were, because we told y'all what the fuck they were, how fake they were. And it also revealed, in the grand scheme of things, that people that actually cover the sport of boxing, they're not really boxing fans. And if you're a boxing fan, you need to be questioning them.
Hey, bro. If people think about sports brotherhood is hitting on the top of their head. He said, bro, Bud really tried to bring a deal to Al. Think about this.
Exactly.
The audacity, bro. If I'm in music and I wanted Jay-Z to take me serious, I would not approach Jay-Z. I had a way for somebody else who actually know him and done business to him. I would not approach Jay-Z. I would have somebody who's done business with approach him.
Yep.
I would have somebody here where he respects approach him. Jay Prince.
Yep.
He
Kanye West.
Kanye, like somebody who he done business with. I would
Yep.
not come to him and say, "Man, hey Jay, man, I got a good deal for you, man." Who the fuck is you, man?
Exactly.
Listen, man, and then and especially if I got a history of all my albums coming out and flopping, because basically all Bug at how many fights he got? 35,
He's not
33?
even a one. He's not even a one-hit wonder, though.
Bug got 30-something plus fights, 30-something plus
Woo,
albums that all
shit.
flat. None of his albums were platinum, man. And he want to go to Jay-Z and talk about he got a business proposition. Boy, if you don't sit your dumb ass down.
Man, he lucky. He's dealing without him, and they got all the patience in the world. Because if he was dealing with me and Ross, we would have just said, "Man, fuck you, though," and hung up the deal.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would have told him, man. Fuck you, man. And hang up the motherfucking phone, man. Because you wasted my fucking time. See, some businessmen, when you waste their time, they don't say nothing. Like Al Heyman, because he's the shrewdest, they don't say nothing. So they'll sit there and just stay quiet. But they're laughing at you behind the scenes. And then some businessmen are like Earl and just hang up the fucking phone on you. The motherfucker's not even a one-hit wonder. And he gonna sit here and negotiate. And when you got dum-dums that say zero guarantee, oh, is scared to lose his investment, you don't know nothing. You're clearly showcasing delusions of you being a mama's boy.
Think
That's
about
what you are.
Think about this. Who the fuck who has already the upper hand in the business deal? They make a business deal where they have zero guarantee or they return an investment. Who does that?
Yeah.
Y'all sound like a niggas that's trying to remain broke for the rest of y'all life. If you already have, this is how business go. The two parties are trying to gain leverage. If one party already has leverage, he gonna lean on that leverage until he's in a position where he don't have leverage anymore. He don't want to do that. So if he get into it, if behind the scenes, if say some shit come out and it's getting to the point where he might lose that leverage if this news hits the market, if it hits the public, he'll go ahead and take the deal with the other dude real quick before he loses leverage. Exactly. Even if it's a deal that he rather not do, but he'll take the deal, he'll settle real quick before he loses leverage and then be behind the 8 ball on the deal. Y'all see how this shit go? And then both parties be fucking with each other to see who's gonna get the leverage on each other, man. Y'all understand? Whenever y'all see black people doing business with each other, y'all be like, "This person is not being fair to this other person." It's business, man. I'm supposed to try to get all the belts, so I give you less money as possible. That's
Leave the emotions out of the shit.
That's the fucking business. I ain't get all these belts just to give you 50-50. That don't make no sense. If you wanted 50-50, you should have had 50% of the belts.
And this is why we call it mama's boy syndrome, because you got mama's boys that are using emotions to try to bring emotions into business. There's no emotions involved in business. It's numbers. And if the numbers don't make sense, if it doesn't add up, it doesn't make sense. So if it's not adding up and it's not making sense, why are we even wasting our times? And you got a bunch of people that don't see that because they're too busy putting their emotions in it because they are mama's boys too. So they sympathize. This is where we go. This is why I keep saying mama's boy. Because what is the core difference? What is the core principle difference between Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford? Earl Spence's father and Terrence Crawford's mother. That's the biggest singular difference. And the way that they comport themselves, you see that singular difference. Because Earl had an active father in the home, he comports himself with confidence, purpose, and an abundance mindset. Because Terrence Crawford is a mama's boy, he comports himself in a fashion, in a way that a mama would always raise a child. Thank you.
Scarcity, full of anxiety. Nigga can sit still, man.
Yep.
No calmness, no type of confidence, just talking, man.
Yep.
This nigga went on. Let's be honest. When you go on YouTube, depending on the platform you at, you might as well be on national TV, man. You might as well be on national TV because there's some syndicated shows that don't get as much viewers as some YouTubers.
Exactly.
So you on national TV down there, man. Because that video could then be shared on YouTube, Now on YouTube. Yeah, it could be shared on YouTube too, on people's pages, on YouTube, on Facebook, on
Yep.
Instagram. That video everywhere of you saying some of the dumbest shit a nigga could
Mhm.
say in boxing
Mhm.
history. You, a nigga who is pretty much a failed boxer because it's prize fighting, right?
Yep.
You don't fight for titles. Titles is part of the deal.
You
But it's
fight for a
prize
prize.
fighting. You fight for money. And
Yep.
you have made some of the least amount of money in the boxing history for a nigga that's supposed to be a pound for pound fighter. You're a boxing
Exactly.
failure. How you gonna come to a nigga who has mastered the art of selling boxing to people, try to tell him and you can't sell a fight?
And then come to another nigga that's been making money and been putting up numbers in his fights. Come on, man. The level of disrespect, dog.
Come on, man.
Oh shit.
Stop that, man. Somebody, this is the reason why Bomac ain't really been talking. Y'all notice that?
Because he can't believe the level of stupidity of Terrence Crawford finally going this route. Bomac is probably better served saying, "Man, you should have just left this shit to me."
Like the thing is, this whole time, Bomac probably didn't even realize that Bud was scared of Spence. He probably just now realized that this nigga really scared of Spence.
Yep.
The whole time, Bomac was probably thinking like, man, we could get Spence, man. Spence keep drinking the way he drinking. If he keep hanging out, we could get him. He probably was under that. He probably was under that real belief that we could get this motherfucker.
Yep.
Little did he know, Crawford never thought he could get Spence. Crawford always been, shout out to EJ88. Crawford always been scared of Errol Spence, man.
Yep.
And the fucking the chickens coming home to roost, because now there's nobody in the way of the fight. You ain't signed to Bob Aaron no more, and now you still fighting motherfuckers who nobody never heard of.
And you screw Bomac. Now Bomac's not really managing. You're kind of just being the main, because you remember Bomac used to be the one to do all the talking. There's got to be a dissension in the ranks between them, because when Bomac's quiet like this, it you know what this reminds you of? It reminds you of Kenny Porter and Sean Porter. It's giving you the same vibe. There's got to be a dissension between them. So Bomac's like, man, fuck you. You ain't gonna let me manage. You ain't gonna fuck you. You go do all that shit yourself. You go do all that dumb talking. Bomac was probably advising him against Black Prime. Like, yo, why don't you just stay where you at? Because Bomac is a token Negro from Omaha, Nebraska. He don't know that much better than you. In his mind, he's thinking what Bob is giving him, even though he's getting the short end of the stick, what Bob is giving him is good stuff because it's been guaranteed and it's been coming continuously. So that's probably what he was advising Terrence Crawford to do. And Crawford didn't want to do that no more because going back to Tomross's eloquent point, astute and observant point, which is he wanted to duck Earl Spence. So he even pulled the wool over Bomac's eyes. And Bomac didn't see that shit coming. Was like, you know what? I ain't even just gonna be talking about this shit publicly. Because you could tell one thing you could tell about Bomac. We clown Bomac all we want, but I could tell Bomac a real nigga, and I could tell Bomac is not happy with the fact that you making Omaha, Nebraska look weak right now because you don't want to take this fucking fight. So that's why he quiet. That's why he's fucking quiet. Like, you just made us look like suckers. It was a sucker move, man. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, it is. A big sucker move. Big sucker move. At the end of the day, whether he lose to Errol Spence or he don't, he gonna be exposed.
Yep.
Because all these guys who they put at the top of the pound for pound list that wasn't attached to PBC, none of these guys have fit the bill.
Manny Pacquiao.
They have not fit the bill.
And now Terrence Crawford.
They have not fit the bill, man. They all gonna tumble and fall, man.
Yep.
They all gonna tumble and fall. But that sad thing for Terrence Crawford, it might be even worse for him because people will accept the fact that he lost to Errol Spence. They will accept the fact if he lose to Boots Ennis.
Yep.
They'll be like, damn, this nigga was trash the whole time. Because at his level, he supposed to beat Boots Ennis.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man. But Bud, think about, I'm trying to talk about Bud. I ain't gonna lie, man. There's no return on your investment to talk about Bud. You can have the coldest live stream in the world, but just because it's about Bud, niggas will be like, man, I ain't watching that shit.
Exactly.
If Bud ain't talking about shit, man. Fuck Bud. Niggas, you know what I'm saying? Because Bud, nobody give a fuck about Bud, man. I'm
No,
tired of
nobody
talking
give a
about this
fuck about
nigga.
him. Man, any last thoughts, Ross? But we
Man,
did.
that's all I gotta say, man. This shit is fucking. All I gotta say is when I look at Bud, all I think is the audacity of this nigga.
Woo, my last piece of statement is I don't got nothing to follow up behind what Ross said. Everything Ross said was the illest shit I ever heard, dog. That's all I gotta say with that, man. Ross, appreciate you taking your basically your most opportune time right now to do your business and to do this impromptu live. So I'm humbled and I'm blessed and I'm thankful for you taking the time to do that, because everyone doesn't understand behind the scenes how valuable time and energy and money is. So I appreciate you doing that. But the boxing streets needed this. They needed us to. They need to hear our voice so that their minds can be jarred straight to what is versus what isn't, man. So I appreciate you for that, and I salute you for that, man. So y'all take care. Y'all be easy. Don't do anything we wouldn't do, and don't go back and re-listen to that Terrence Bud Crawford interview. You do that, I can't help you. It's been real. Peace.
Peace.